All right, so part two of our little study on GLP-1s and what they are. Let's review just a bit, okay? So a GLP-1 is a glucagon-like peptide, which basically controls your appetite. That's really what it comes down to. And glucagon is like a hormone your body normally produces to after you eat to let you know that you're full. And uh, so that what it does in this situation is these GLP-1s make that release very, very slow so that you feel fuller. So it mimics that hormone, that glucagon hormone. That's what a GLP-1 is, but it lasts longer and it keeps people full for a long period of time. It greatly reduces appetite as well. So now, let me explain all of these things. So when you're talking about, the GLP-1s and their semaglutides and all this kind of things, what you're looking at here is you are looking at Ozempic, you're looking at Wegovy, you're looking at Mounjaro, Zepbound, and then retatrutide, I think the name is. I'll just call it Reta. So Ozempic is a semaglutide. That's the active ingredient, and basically it's for type 2 diabetes, and it's very common that these things are available now. Wegovy is pretty much the same thing. It's for obesity too, though. So it's the same thing with just a bit of a different dose. And the active ingredient in that one is called tirzepatide, I think it is. And it works on two hormones, though, the GLP-1 plus the glucose-dependent part of your body, your polypeptides. And so it's hitting two things, and that really does make a huge difference with weight loss. And the Zepbound one does the same thing, basically. It's approved specifically for obesity. And now, here's the cool one, the retatrutide. And it targets three different receptors. It targets the glucagon, it targets the GLP-1 and the GHP, what we just talked about. So this one controls your insulin levels, and it really does make a huge difference in it. And so, but when you're getting it, I have several clients that are using that now. And so what it does, it's got this, I think they call it a triple agonist, but it really, really helps control appetite. And like I said, I got a few people that are using it, but man, it works so well. Now, here's really what it comes down to, though. No matter which one you're taking, most people lose track of what's important. And what's important is fat loss, way more than weight loss. Weight loss can include body fat, which is what we want. It can include muscle, which is what we don't want, and it can include bone. So what you have to do, and it's super important to do this, you have got to do resistance weight training. Now, here's the problem. The problem is you can't work out excessively. You have to really target what you're doing. That's why you need a trainer in the middle of this, because too much exercise is just as bad as too little. You have to find the right amount. Too much exercise will also cause you to lose muscle. That's not what we want. But if we can get you at the right point, that we have to, you have to test the number of exercises that you do. But once you get there, you're going to maintain, if not build, a little bit of muscle. And then there's some really good tricks for keeping your protein levels up as well. But not only do you build muscle, you create, when you're doing resistance weight training properly, these things called osteoblasts. And these osteoblasts, they create bone density. That way we're not losing bone either. So the key is to strength train properly, and don't go to any place that's doing hour-long sessions. You just don't need those. You don't even need a half hour. It's going to be too much. You got to find the exact number of exercises that you need to stimulate muscle, and that takes time. And here's how you can know that you're not losing muscle. I'll close with this. Once you start lifting weights and you continue to lose body fat, if the weights that you're lifting do not decline, that means it's a good chance that you're not losing any muscle. If they increase after a certain point, there's a slight possibility you might gain some muscle. That's what we're after. Make it a great day. See you in episode 3.